Good afternoon, folks. Fox Outdoors here. It is Friday the 26th. It is 6:15 p.m. Oh, sorry, correction, 6:35 p.m. at the moment of recording. It is fairly overcast today, not super hot, so I figured I would get out in the garden and do a quick little update video for you guys. I've done a few things here and there, and a few things I haven't done here and there. So obviously all my plants are out here now. I've got my hashtag long green stick thingies. I actually do remember what they are, but we're just going to keep it as hashtag long green stick thingies because it's funny. Anyways, I got my onions over here with the two onion heads. Or sorry, my two different onions with onion seed heads. So I don't even care if I get onion seeds or not. I have so many of these things, it's not even funny. I have my black bean. I have, that was the black turtle bush bean. I did put two of them in there, which is really weird. I put one right there next to that brown, or under that brown thing, and it hasn't popped up yet, which is really funny. This one popped up in like 3 days. So, I don't know, I might have flushed it out, or I might have pushed it in there too deep. Who knows? Yellow ghost's going pretty good over here. I might have to trim off a little bit just to get this to bush out more. But yeah, essentially this thing has turned into a bush. Don't know how, but it is. Got some jalapenos and serranos up in this thing, just kind of sort of mixed in here. Hopefully, I'm hoping they germinate and actually pop up. We'll see. Still have my potatoes in there. Haven't done squatola. Cana's way over there. I transplanted those into a new container because they broke one of my other ones. I believe I updated you guys last week on this, or the week before, so that's the little one that broke out. As you can see, my sunflowers and rosemary are going absolutely haywire over here. I have another sunflower over here. I did have this entire bin full of sunflowers. You'll see the little green stems off here and there. Stems. I basically cut off all of the sunflowers except for one because I have this guy growing in here. Finally, I planted like 12 little stems in here, or seed starts, trying to clone it. I think I got one clone, which is good. Not as good as I wanted, but we'll see. I had this one down here, still has a little green on it, so it might make it. I don't know. Like I said, I did plant about 10 or 12 in here. And so far, I've only got the one right there going. But, you know, you win some, you lose some. And then check this out, folks. My lemon tree. This is the, once again, the Mayer lemons. Or Meyer lemons, whatever the heck, however you want to pronounce it. But yeah, look at these guys. They are getting pretty darn substantial in size. I mean, that one, I've got those two there. These guys up here. And I mean, they're solid. I got a big one back here. Look at that guy. A couple more down here, and I am getting more blooms. So I will be getting another batch sometime this season. Hopefully. But yeah, I'm doing really good on my lemon tree. This is awesome. My lime's doing the same thing. Struggling a little bit, but I do have a good amount of little Mexican limes on here. I am going to take this branch off at some point, just not yet. And then I have to start trimming some of these weird little cross branches. I need to start pruning this tree to get it to grow the way I want it to, so it doesn't turn into a giant bush. So I do not want a lemon bush or a lime bush. I want a tree similar to that one. Still can't figure out this one here. This is my lemon tree, folks. This is another Mayer lemon. This one is the most confusing out of all of them. Yeah, that's another Mayer lemon. I have blossoms everywhere. You can see those little purple bits down here. There's one up there. Trying to focus on my finger. I got that big one right there, that one there. But there is not a single leaf on this thing. So I don't know how it is photosynthesizing without leaves, but it is doing something. Everything obviously is still green, because if it wasn't, it'd be brown, and I wouldn't be getting these blossoms. Doubt I'll get anything off of them, but you never know. I might get lucky. Do have to transplant this guy. I will do that one next week. I'll actually get both of these transplanted next week. I'm just really on the fence about this little guy here because he doesn't have leaves, but I don't know if I'm going to be wasting my time transplanting it if it's going to die like a week later. So fingers crossed on that one, ladies and gentlemen, that one actually survives the transplant. Over here, another sunflower. Yet again, majority of the sunflowers in my property at this moment are volunteers. I have not planted a single sunflower seed yet. They are just everywhere. I did just recently plant 5 black turtle bush beans in here. I did have one pop up over there, but for some reason the casing as it was coming up dried out, and it killed the internal leaves, the pre-leaves, or I get pre-photosynthesis. I don't know what they're. The first 2 leaves that come out to try to grab the sun, so it was, as I call them, the sun grabbers. But yeah, the first 2 sets died, so I just yanked it a little bit ago. It's actually laying on the floor right there next to that leaf. And then I have a random carrot down here. And this is for those of you who are not in the desert and are still somehow managed to be... Oops, sorry, got my license plate in there. Oh well, most of y'all know where I live anyway. Anyways, this is going to go out to those who know. If you know, you know. If you don't know, well then, desert gardening, and this is my lettuce. I have 3 lettuce here, 3 lettuce there, 2 lettuce here. That's a little tiny one. Had one there and it died. A big old one over there, and then 2 right here. My lettuces, I will show you here in just a brief moment, are going nuts. So, for a certain person in Tennessee, you know who you are. Lettuce is growing. And again, the reason why this lettuce is doing so well, if you can see, I have a tree right here. It stays in the shade pretty much most of the day. It'll get a little bit of morning sun from over there, and then it'll get the evening sun from this side. Pardon me, folks. I do apologize about that. But yeah. So in the shade most of the time does pretty good. I have also noticed for my plants, it looks like I'm getting another one here. That one looks like it's going to be a seed head. I got a seed pod there. And then on this guy here, he's in between the 2 leaves. I got a seed pod there. And there's a little one right there. These are my onions. I'm going to wait on some of these to see if they actually give me decent seeds, so I can get some good yellow onions. That's what these are. And I mean, you can see this is a pretty substantial. Pretty sure if I pulled that out, it'd actually be a pretty decent sized onion. But and this dirt is dry. A lot of worm castings though. That's a lot of good worm castings, like most of it. Oh, speaking of worms, there's one of my little garden helpers right now. 2 of them actually. 2 little garden helpers, but you know what? They help nonetheless. And then, as always, I'm keeping my seed stock for my carrots. I got a massive one in there, and that is actually 1 carrot. And then I got another one right next to it. My blackberries are finally starting to go. Starting to get a little bit of trailing leaves here and there, so we'll see what happens. I'm still, once again, this is another project that I was on the fence, literally on the fence with, to see if it's going to make it or not. I'm hoping it will, so I will try to keep everybody posted as often as possible on this particular aspect of the garden. And yeah, I mean, you can see my onions from here, folks. There's probably going to be like 2,000 seeds off of that thing. I'm never going to run out of seeds. And my strawberries, as always, going nuts. And way back in the corner, my columbines, which are doing absolutely fantastic this year. They absolutely love that corner spot. I don't know why. I had some other plants in there. Those ones took off, and they've pretty much been in there for, I think this is almost their 3rd year now that they've been in there. And that pot just growing and kicking it. And we'll make way through my epic dirt lot. Just kidding. It's actually getting less and less dirt and more and more. Oop, I'm going to have to actually make a detour because I do want to show a couple people this one. And I have another spot over here. My corn. I got 3 rows of corn in here. There's supposed to be a corn in each one of these grids, and then I have it every 3rd grid. So, as you can see, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then there's one in each square. This is essentially a 2x4 pattern, And I do have them all the way across. There's a couple of random sunflowers mixed in here and there, like there. I got a bean plant here. I don't know which variety it is, because to be dead honest, folks, I never planted one in here. Essentially, from this row forward, I have nothing in it. I had no intention of planting anything in it just yet, because I was still debating on what I wanted to put in here. Over here we have, my dirt needs to go back in the hole. My Peter peppers. I have transplanted them out here in their containers, out in the sun, so hopefully they will get going. I do have 6 of these, which is 6 out of the 10 survived, so I'm happy with that. Even if I get 2 to 3 of these plants to actually mature, or get them to maturity, I will be happy, because I will have enough seed stock afterwards. And then every other little bit of green that you see in here is actually not a plant. It is, but it's not a viable plant. It's from this bugger of a tree right here, and that is the elm tree, Spanish elm or whatever. They are everywhere in here. They pop up very prolifically. And my again, non-planted, so volunteer sunflowers. And then my eggplant, which had a flower on it down at the bottom. I don't know why it's way down there, but it is. And let's see. Oh, I did miss one. Crud. I have to walk back over here again. I do apologize, folks. I missed it when I was showing you the carrots. My carrot seed stock. I have planted my Tabasco peppers. So I have my Tabascos in here. I have 5 of them. So 1 there, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And those are the Tabascos. I'm going to try to in a different spot, see what happens. And it looks like I have maybe one random, it's either a sunflower or something or other. I won't know until it gets a little bigger and it gets a couple more leaves on it. And my garlic is still doing fantastic. It's about a foot tall now, which is really good. And then we go over to the, well, we'll go over this way. There's a car, always, because, you know, I live in a neighborhood, so cars do pop up right here and there. Another random carrot. Random sunflower that I transplanted in here first. My 2 original greenhouse corns, which I'm pretty sure at this point are toast. They are not doing anything. Oh, but here's the funny part. So the little one here actually started to make little corn heads. So you can actually kind of see them on there. I was actually making corn. So I got little corn kernels on there, which is kind of neat. That experiment sort of failed successfully, I suppose. I guess, I don't know. I have a little orange friend in there eating bugs. My hardneck garlic, the one that survived out of the like 30 that I planted. I'm really mad with that one. But hopefully I can get this one to go and continue my Americanized Canadian Canadian garlic. And here we go to this one. Test sector number 2 or number 3. I don't know. I got test sectors everywhere. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it on here. I about fell in my butt. It would have been a lot harder to see this had I not watered all these. But yeah, if you can see on here, folks, I have a ton of carrot growth. And I did put about 2 seeds in each one of these holes. Some of them might have gotten 3, maybe 4, because it's really hard to deal with them. They're really small seeds. But yeah, I got test on this one is going good. This is the egg crate test, or egg cartons, egg trays. I don't know what they're. I get, yeah, egg cartons, but just like the flat ones that come like the 18 per thing. And then I've got, looks like about 6 little watermelon radishes. This was a test one. And again, not entering the contest for this one, for the Grow Big TV contest. This one I just wanted to, I got them before the contest even started, and yeah. And this one here is my cherry pepper. It's the only one without the tag. I got that inside, and then I just trimmed my onion, because that guy was getting These things fold over, and then they're destroying my ramp over here. I have a barrier to keep the water in, and it is just destroying it, and it flops around. I have absolutely nothing planted in here. I'm pretty sure I had planted beans in here, but nothing's popping up, so I might replant more onion. Ooh, this is a new one. I've never seen this on an onion. Check this thing out. That's a double onion, so I've got 2 stems on here off of this guy. I'm actually happy about that. That's actually pretty cool. Nothing there. I've got growth galore over here. The soft neck garlic is going crazy. Yes, these are starting to turn brown, but that does not mean it's harvest time. That just means it's too darn hot. I do water these about once a week, once 2 weeks, and they just keep going. Same thing with these ones. These are the same ones. They just keep going and going and going. I have corn in this one. And I did see my first one popping out earlier, but it is currently, let's see if I can find it again. Yeah, he's right there. A little green spouter. I did plant about 5 of them in here. And then this is this is my main problem here. Is I planted rows of beans. I told you I planted these things about every inch apart, give or take. Some of them holes I actually put 2 in there just because I wanted to increase germination rate. And I also planted squash in here before, but they weren't doing anything until like the last 2 days, and all of a sudden now I have 4 squash plants popping up. So this is going to be an interesting one. Technically, I do actually have the 3 sisters planted in this area. I have my corn, squash, and beans. Now, the beans are on this side because I have this trellis to grow them up. And they will grow all the way up this trellis to the top. And probably down, or they'll just start piling up on top. Same thing with down here. I planted about 10 beans. That one will be popping up in the next day or 2. And I mean, as you can see, this one popped out like aggressively. I mean, that thing's got some big leaves already. Well, I actually have another one popping up there. Like I said, I do have one here. You can see him down there in the corner. Oops. Right under there. I think I planted 2 rows in here. I think I planted 4 or 5 in the front and then a couple in the back. Moving on. My bell pepper plant may or may not die, so that's going to be a sad loss. I finally got some progress on these ones. I did pull off this cover, and there were beans popping up, so I do have a couple rows of beans in here. Again, I do have, I think, 2 rows of corn in this side. And then down here, we have the Thai dragon peppers. I have 7 of them, so I have one here, one there, one there, one there, one there, one there, and then one there. If I would have had another one, I would have put it right here, but unfortunately, I only had those 2. Or those 7. Some of these do have doubles. We'll just see what they do. Hopefully I'll get somewhere with these this year as well. And then I just replanted or reseeded a bunch of basil in here. Put some basil in there like 2-3 weeks ago and hasn't done anything, so I reseeded. We'll see what happens. Fingers crossed I get some basil out of here this year. Last time I grew some in here, that plant was like 4 feet wide. It sucked. That thing was massive. And then I would say second to last planter, but it's not. I have more beans popping up. I did again 2 rows, about 10 in the front, and then I put 1 in between each of those. So about 15 of them, give or take. And then my 3 rows of corn apparently is how I planted these. I guess just to give them enough airflow and room to expand and grow. But you can kind of see I've got 1 row, 2 row, and then the 3rd row's not doing so well. I've only got 3 popping up so far. But again, majority of the stuff I like doing out here in the yard or property is experimental, so I kind of just throw stuff around and see what happens. Sometimes I get lucky, sometimes I fail. And sorry for the traffic noise, folks. But you know, again, as I was saying, sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some. I'd rather not continue to win because then I don't learn anything. I just like stick it in the ground and I'm like, hey, it'll just go. If you lose a few rounds, you learn what not to do the next time. And then same with these down here. I put beans in there a couple days ago. Both of these, same thing. Actually, I think that one I did rows of cucumber. And that one I just did... Where did I put in that one? No, I did cucumber in this one. And I have, yeah, cucumber in both of these, actually. Nope, I stand corrected. I have cucumber in that one, and I put melon in this one. Sorry, folks, my throat is dry. I've been consuming dirt the last 3 days, so I'm not having fun. Breathing sucks. I have mammoths in here, again, not part of the contest. I had planted these long before the contest was even started or even mentioned of. And so I just have 3 of them in here doing whatever they're going to do. If they decide to get bigger, they decide to get bigger. If not, again, it's going to be what it's going to be. And then these are my 4 regular sunflowers, which are actually getting pretty dang tall. And you'll be able to see here, the bugs are eating the heck out of my leaves. And it looks like I got some leaf miners in there. That's not good. Ants are already on here, but yeah, look, I've already got a flower head on that one. Flower head there. That one's got a flower head. And this one's got 1 flower head. And as you can see here, all of the leaves from the bottom half are just stripped off. So these are all stalks. I'm going to go through at some point and I'm going to trim off all of these little snabbers, because I do not want side shoots of sunflowers. I just want one big sunflower on the top. That way I can get a decent crop. And then the last but not least, my jalapenos. As you can see, I got quite a bit of them actually in here germinated this time. Last time I did the same thing and I had about 5 germinate, and they germinated surprisingly in a weird square. These ones are just kind of sort of all over. I've got some down there. I've got one. Let's see if I can find it on here. He is right there at the tip of my finger. Really hard to see. 1 there, 3 there, 2 there, 2 more there. And I know I have another one in here. Yeah, they're just all over the place. Doing good this year, so I'm gonna have a lot of jalapenos. Lots of jalapenos. Some random person making a U-turn in my driveway. Good. That is pretty much the end of this, folks. I am running out of memory. This will probably be the last video for a while. So, do me a favor. Oh, real quick before I leave, I do want to show you guys one thing. Aside from my other set of onions, the backyard rebuild garden project that me and my dad have been working on. So we are almost finished. We have put down all of this, essentially gold crusher fine, which is like a mix of like sand and other stuff. When it's packed down, it looks like it's as hard as concrete. But got this all down. Still working on this section here. That's all full of rocks, which is going to go right back in here. Those rocks are going to get moved from essentially from the front end of that. They're going to kind of come down this way and then kind of lead into the walkway here. These are going to get cut in half, and they are going to go around my plants. These honeysuckles that I have 4 of them. This will give them a bit of the honeysuckles a bit more dirt to work with and a little bit more drainage control. But yeah, we're working on it. We're getting there. It's almost finished. Got another week or 2 to go on this, and then we should be golden. And then my mint going crazy. Moved my mint back over here in the corner. And it seems to like this spot, so I'll just keep it over here. But yes, folks, that is the last bit of the tour. I just wanted to show you all. I don't suppose there's a need to me walking back into the front, but you know what? I like to walk in the front anyway, because that looks better than the backyard at the moment. So you guys get to go with me on my walkabout journey over here. To the actual side of the yard that has all the greenery and food. On My strawberries, as you can see, are strawberrying like crazy. I don't think I'm going to get these to stop this year. I've got clusters of like 5 to 10 on here. It's nuts. Look at that. They're going everywhere. But anyways, folks, this is going to be Fox It Outdoors. Shortly signing off. Do me a favor on the way out. Hit that thumbs up. Like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Share this out with friends and family. Let them know about myself as a desert container gardener if they need any help. Have them send me a message. Anyways, this is going to be Fox It Outdoors signing off. You folks have an absolute wonderful weekend.